get started in about 2 minutes. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here this afternoon for the 2018-2019 awards ceremony at NCSSM, when we get to recognize and honor a number of our seniors for their outstanding achievements over their 2 years at NCSSM. Before we get started in the program, though, first I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2019. You're about 46 hours away from being alumni. The entire class is full of amazing people that have done amazing things, not only the 2 years you've been here, but throughout your life to this point, and I'm sure are going to continue to do amazing things as you move forward. And so as we recognize award winners, everybody here should be recognized for many things, including all that you've done for this community over the past 2 years here at NCSSM. So I want to congratulate every single one of you for what you've done for our community. I'd also like to take a minute to thank a few people for helping with today's ceremony. The counseling staff, as you saw, just put together the slideshow that was representative of over $14 million worth of scholarships that were offered to the class of 2019. So congratulations on that. We are all very proud of you for your accomplishments, and also want to thank the faculty and staff here at NCSSM and all those folks at your schools prior to NCSSM who've helped you along the way to your success, along with your parents and families. I also like to thank Mr. Rowe. He's helping today to make sure this is possible here. And the whole academic programs team for putting together this today's event and giving us an opportunity to recognize many of you. I first want to start with our recognition of our Staff Sustainability Awards. These awards were created by our sustainability project leaders who do an amazing job of working to make our campus more sustainable in a variety of different ways. So big hand for our SPLs. And they know that it takes more than just the community as a whole, but folks providing leadership and help and support to make that possible. And so they have created the Warshaw Sustainability Awards for Staff Sustainability and Support. And Steve Warshaw, Steve, come on up here on stage. Dr. Warshaw was a teacher and for many years the Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs at NCSSM, and one of his many passions was sustainability. And so he really helped to get the sustainability program going during his tenure here at NCSSM, and he and his wife have supported the continued development of that program, which allows us to do many of the things we currently do today to try to make our community more sustainable. And so this award goes to, this year, 2 individuals that the SPLs have felt like have really promoted and supported their work in helping make our community more sustainable. And so the first award winner, and if you're here, I know one will not be here and I'm not sure about the other, but if you're here, when I call your name, please come up on stage. If not, we will make sure they get this recognition. But our first award winner is Todd Bollinger. So just a little bit about, seems like Mr. Bollinger needs no introduction, and everybody recognizes him for all of the work he does here to keep our campus looking fantastic. But he also is very committed to sustainability. And he is principally responsible for the program that helps to keep our campus looking good, and the things that really focus on sustainability as related to watering the campus and a lot of other things. But one of the things that he has done, and we have as a campus is a relatively old campus, and many of the trees that you see out here are probably at the end of their life. The oak trees, many of the oak trees that make this campus what it is. And so Mr. Bollinger has started a process over the past several years to replace these trees. And in doing that, this past year, along with the SPLs, he coordinated a campus-wide tree planting initiative and partnered with Trees of Durham to plant 35 new species of trees on our campus. And so that's fantastic. And so many years from now, future unicorns will be thanking you for your leadership and effort there. So we are pleased to recognize Mr. Bollinger for his work on behalf of the campus. And he's also one of the sustainability coordinators, along with Julia Fiore, John Davis, and Jewel Dale. So Todd, thank you for your work on behalf of the campus and sustainability. Yeah, got one more for Linda. She's not going to be here. And our second recipient this year, and I know that she is not here, is Dr. Linda Schmalbach. And Dr. Schmalbach began and was really in charge of moving forward the sustainability initiatives after Dr. Warshaw retired. And for 2 years, she sort of was the lead sustainability person on our campus. And since she moved out of that role, we had to have 4 people to take her place. But she has developed many of the courses that we teach around environmental science and sustainability, as well as being instrumental in the sustainability garden that has the cistern out there and the natural gardens that are out there and the solar panels that are out there. That was all a project that she helped initiate and lead. So I know Dr. Schmalbach is not here today, but please help me in congratulating her for her commitment to sustainability. And again, Dr. Warshaw, thank you for all of your leadership for NCSSM, and in particular, your continued support of this initiative. Thank you. So now we're going to be moving on to the next part of the award. And as we call the recipients of awards up, if you would please come up from this side of the stage so we can get you up here and get good photos and all of your classmates can see you. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Tichy, who will recognize students with service awards.
Good afternoon. How's everybody? Okay. Since NCSSM actively promotes giving back to our state and its communities, we begin with our service awards. As you know, every student is required to volunteer a minimum of 60 hours of service for a nonprofit in North Carolina in order to graduate from NCSSM. Yet a number of our students have devoted more than double that, some 150 or more hours, just this academic year. They are the winners of our NCSSM Outstanding Service Award. The students listed on this slide are asked to see Sue Ann Lewis in the ETC lobby following the ceremony for a certificate honoring your accomplishment. Please stand to be recognized with our applause. Okay, and now we're going to begin with the Academic Program Competition Awards. First, just a word about the process for this part of the ceremony. We are recognizing our junior and senior award winners from state, regional, national, and international competitions. A slide or multiple slides for each team or competition will be projected, listing the students involved, while one of our academic deans or I will provide a brief description. Once all the slides for a particular group are completed, we will ask those students recognized on a full set of slides to stand to be honored with our applause. Then we'll move on to the next competition. We'll start with the National Chess Competition. Several members of our chess team traveled to the National Chess Championship in March. Each student played several matches lasting upwards of 4 hours per round. Zachary Hunter won second place in the K-12 under 1900 chess rating category for the U.S. National High School Chess Championship. Zach, please rise to receive our applause. In Quiz Bowl, two teams compete head-to-head to answer challenging questions about many areas of knowledge, from history to literature, science, fine arts, current events, sports, and pop culture. This year, members of our team placed in both the Triangle Regional and state competitions. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. Thank you, and now it is my pleasure to introduce our Dean of Engineering and Computer Science, Dr. Joe Labulio, who will now announce our winners in the Engineering and Computer Science competitions.
I'm heartened to hear of all the hard work that's gone into these many competitions, and I applaud all of you who have actively participated in these competitions, even if your name does not appear on these slides today. I saw a lot of excitement, a lot of engagement, and a lot of learning. There's me. Okay. This year's first robotics team, composed of science and math students and students from the community, was recognized for excellence in implementing an advanced control system using industry-level software on a complex robot using a variety of sensors to manage complex mechanical systems. It was also recognized for enthusiastically supporting interest in STEM through a variety of outreach activities and initiatives. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. At the competition in Huntsville, Alabama, home of the Marshall Space Flight Center, the NASA student launch team was recognized for excellence in design, construction, and flight of a rocket that was almost 8 feet tall and which flew over a mile high. This rocket featured carbon fiber reinforced fins and extensive use of the Fab Lab during construction. Its payload measured base pressure drag and placed third in the judges' award. It was one of a very few rockets passing flight readiness review without any issues. Team members, please rise to receive your applause. The Team America Rocketry Challenge, sponsored by the Aerospace Industries Association, is the world's largest student rocket contest, reaching this year over 5,000 students on 840 teams from around the nation. This year's Team America Rocketry Challenge team reached the national finals by being in the top 100 teams in a competition requiring careful design to reach altitude and time of flight targets. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. The Technology Student Association is an international student organization devoted exclusively to the needs of students interested in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as well as business education. 2 science and math representatives were elected to state office, and our team garnered awards in 8 events, including prepared presentation and extemporaneous speech. The team won awards for the Future Technology Teacher, Photographic Technology, Essays on Technology, Prepared Presentation, and Pin and T-shirt design, and was recognized for fashion design, coding, web design, and forensics. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. Dean Elizabeth Moose will now announce our winners in the humanities competitions.
Today we gather to applaud those students who've demonstrated special achievement in contests and competitions. But I want to take just a moment to remind us that profound accomplishments in learning also occur far away from the sparkle of trophies and medals. They occur in dingy basement classrooms with pillars, laboratories, dorm rooms, even on the Bryan lawn, when and whenever NCSM students are actively engaged individually and in groups in the vibrant life of the critical and creative mind. And so let's applaud these ongoing accomplishments which involve each and every one of you. Please give yourself a hand. And now please join me in commending the following award-winning students for their achievements across all areas of the arts and humanities. The North Carolina Music Educators Association All-State Honors Orchestra is an elite ensemble composed of outstanding student musicians from across our state, selected from the top placing chairs in their respective regional orchestras. Musicians, if you will, stand and let us applaud you. Orchestra. Right. The NCMEA Eastern Regional Orchestra is also an elite ensemble of top musicians selected by audition from across the eastern region of our state. Please rise and let us commend you. Similarly, the NCMEA All-State Jazz Ensemble, Central NC All-District Band, and NAFME National Wind Ensemble are elite performing ensembles composed of top students selected by audition from across our entire state and nation. Musicians, please rise and receive our applause. And we can sing, too. The NCMEA Honors Chorus is an elite choral ensemble made up of outstanding singers selected from across our state through competitive auditions. And so, Michael, please rise to receive our applause. NCSSM's visual artists also achieved many distinctions this year. These artists excelled in the General Federation of Women's Clubs art competitions on the local, district, and state levels. Please rise to receive our applause. Thank goodness for Ms. Alter. Since 1923, the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards have recognized the vision, ingenuity, and talent of our nation's young artists. And this year, NCSSM students excelled in the visual arts and writing at the regional level. Honored artists and writers, please rise to receive our applause. Oh, there was some more. Sorry about that. And another one. I think some people need to stand. Let's try that again. Everybody who was up there. So much excellence. The Governor's School of North Carolina is a state-funded summer program in which students who are among the best and brightest from across our state gather for the love of learning and the joy of creativity. And this year, 4 NCSSM students will be attending in the fine arts and the humanities. Please rise to receive our applause. Our speech and debate team allows experienced debaters as well as novices the chance to compete against other students from across the state in a range of categories. This year, our team of enthusiastic members continued to do well, with members placing high in several tournaments. Speech and debaters, please rise to receive our applause. Our students also won second place in the state championship in this year's North Carolina History Bee and Bowl. Team members, please rise, and we'll applaud you. Our mock trial students also achieved excellence in regional competition. Students, please rise. Witnesses and attorneys. We love the Economics Challenge, folks. So our hardworking Economics Challenge team won 3rd place in the state. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. One of the highlights of our exciting and growing program in entrepreneurship was this spring's 2nd annual entrepreneurship competition. Winners, will you please rise and receive our applause? Our students also performed well in the quill writing competition, earning accolades at the regional and state levels, including a state championship. Writers, please rise to receive our applause. Our students performed well in this year's Poetry Out Loud competition on the school, county, and state levels. Please rise to receive our applause. Several of our humanities research students capped a year of accomplishment in research with outstanding performances this spring at the how would you say that? Humanities. Thank you. I'm working on it. Humanities competition in San Diego. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The National Security Language Initiative for Youth, or NISLE program, sponsored by the U.S. State Department, provides merit-based scholarships for high school students and recent high school graduates to learn less commonly taught languages such as Arabic, Mandarin, Russian, Hindi, Korean, and Turkish in summer and academic years overseas immersion experiences. This year, we had an amazing 22 students who advanced to semifinalist status, and 8 students who won scholarships for summer study, and 4 graduating seniors who will spend next academic year in language and cultural immersion programs in China, India, Moldova, and Taiwan. Amazing language learners, please stand and let us applaud you. Woo! Our students also did quite well in the 17th annual North Carolina Japanese Language Speech Contest. Students, please rise to receive our applause. So as you see, NCSSM students are very interested in languages and cultures from around the world. Many students of world languages distinguish themselves in national language exams in French, Latin, and Spanish. We commend all these students, and today highlight the performance of those who earned gold medals and state awards. The National French Exam is an annual, highly challenging competition sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of French. We had both gold medal winners and state award winners. Students, please rise to receive our applause. Wow. The National Latin Exam encourages academic excellence and effort in the study of Latin. Students from all 50 states and 23 foreign countries participate in this exam. And this year, 10 NCSSM students won gold medals for their efforts. They're members of the Super Summa Cum Laude 100 Club. And junior Sophia Carpenter achieved an amazing record, a perfect score, a distinction earned by only 698 students out of the nearly 130,000 students from across the globe who sat for the exam. Winners, please rise to receive our applause. The National Spanish Exam, sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese, is a national contest recognizing student achievement in the study of, you guessed it, Spanish. We had gold medalists in all levels, level 1, level 2, and levels 3 and 4. Students, please rise to receive our applause. And the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese also award monetary prizes to those select few whose performance on the National Spanish Exam is among the very best in the state. Will these 3 please rise for our applause? Thank you. And now Dean Taylor Gibson will announce our winners in mathematics competitions.
Hello. I'm happy to present you today the NCSSM mathematics students who have been acknowledged for their accomplishments in various competitions this year. I'd also like to second Ms. Moo's sentiments that success in mathematics goes beyond these competitions, but to our living, learning, and athletic spaces around campus. So without further ado, join me in recognizing our math competition award winners. First up is the American Mathematics Competition, or the AMC 12. The purpose of the AMC 12 is to help identify those students with truly exceptional talent in mathematics. The AMC 12 is one in a series of exams followed in the U.S. by the American Invitational Mathematics Exam and the USA Mathematical Olympiad that culminate in participation in the International Mathematical Olympiad. The top 3 scorers of each testing date are recognized. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The American Invitational Mathematics Exam is a 15-question, 3-hour test given since 1983 to those who rank in the top 5% on the AMC 12 high school mathematics contest. The following students are recognized for their participation in the test. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The United States of America Mathematical Olympiad is a highly selective high school mathematics competition held annually in the U.S. consisting of 6 questions taking 9 hours spread out over 2 days. Only 280 students qualified for the U.S. AMO based on a combination of their AMC and AMY scores. 8 of those students were from North Carolina, and 4 of those were from NCSSM. That's pretty good. Students who excel at the USAMO contest qualify for a summer training camp from which 6 students are selected to represent the U.S. at the International Mathematical Olympiad. The following students were participants in this year's USAMO competition. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The North Carolina State Math Contest is a network of North Carolina mathematics contests offered in multiple divisions across the state, culminating in a state-level final competition held here at NCSSM each spring. This year we had a second-place winner and several strong individual performances across the school. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The high school mathematical contest and modeling is open to all secondary schools in the U.S. These 4-person teams work on a real-world problem in a consecutive 36-hour period. Their solutions are recognized as either successful participant, honorable mention, meritorious, finalist, national finalist, or outstanding. And outstanding teams have their solution papers published. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. The MathWorks Math Modeling, or M3 Challenge, is a contest for high school juniors and seniors. Through participation, students experience what it's like to work as a team to tackle a real-world problem under time and resource constraints, akin to those faced by professional mathematicians working in industry. Recognized students are categorized as honorable mention, semifinalists, and finalists. Additionally, the M3 Technical Computing Scholarship Award honors teams for outstanding use of programming to analyze, design, and conceive a solution for the problem presented in the M3 Challenge. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. The Duke Math Meet is a regional mathematics competition for high school students held at Duke University every year. The competition lasts for 1 day from morning to afternoon, during which the students have fun solving challenging mathematics problems while making many new friends with contestants from other schools and states. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. In its inaugural year, we had over 12 teams take on a challenge unique to the NCSSM residential program, optimizing the calendar and timetable. Teams worked tirelessly over a single weekend to put together multiple models to evaluate different course meeting patterns, starting and ending times to the school day, and various calendar options. Their outstanding work informed the Graduate Visioning Committee and the school strategic planning teams. Team members, please rise to receive our applause. Dr. Scheck will now announce our winners in the science competitions.
So exciting to celebrate excellence here at Science and Math. I love that this is a school where you don't have to hide that you're smart and where you can celebrate the accomplishments of your peers. I'm going to switch up the way I do this a little bit, so I'm going to go through sets of like 3 or 4 different competitions and then have you rise at the end of that set. So pay attention and watch for your name. The North Carolina Blue Heron Bowl is a regional marine science quiz bowl. The winners advance to the National Ocean Sciences Bowl. BioGenius Challenge. The BioGenius Challenge provides high school students the opportunity to compete and be recognized for outstanding research in biotechnology. Students have the opportunity to apply and compete for top honors in medical biotech, agriculture biotech, or industrial environmental biotech. The Bowman-Brockman Scholars. Judd Bowman and Taylor Brockman, class of '99, established the Bowman-Brockman Endowment for Entrepreneurship and Research with a $100,000 grant to support students in exceptional endeavors in pursuing research, entrepreneurship, and academic competition. And the last one in this set, the Conrad Foundation Spirit of Innovation Challenge, is a competition that brings together a dynamic community of innovators and entrepreneurs, driving a collaborative movement to develop extraordinary and viable solutions to benefit our world in aerospace and aviation, cyber technology and security, energy and environment, and health and nutrition. Students for all 4 competitions, please rise to receive our applause. The Regeneron Science Talent Search provides an arena for U.S. high school seniors to present original research projects to nationally recognized professional scientists. Last year, Regeneron became only the 3rd sponsor of the Science Talent Search with a 10-year, $100 million commitment. Regeneron is a company founded with the goal of transforming lives through science, and its most important and social commitment has been to support the development of highly engaged, well-trained, and innovative young thinkers. The North Carolina International Science Challenge is a yearly science competition offered by the SMT Center and the Moorhead Planetarium and Science Center. Students display their inquiry-based projects at the Beijing Youth Science Creation Competition held in Beijing, China. And the last one in this set, the North Carolina JSHS and National JSHS. The primary aim of JSHS are to promote original research and experimentation in the sciences, mathematics, and engineering at the high school level. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The North Carolina Regional High School Science Bowl is a highly competitive science education and academic event among teams of high school and middle school students who compete in a fast-paced, verbal forum to solve technical problems and answer questions in all branches of science and math. The North Carolina Science and Engineering Fair and ISEF. North Carolina Science and Engineering Fair is a statewide competition for young people to display their work in science and technology. First place winners advance to the International Science and Engineering Fair, where students from more than 70 countries are represented. Students, please rise to receive our applause. The North Carolina Science Olympiad is a statewide tournament that is a rigorous academic interscholastic competition consisting of a series of individual and team events. The North Carolina Student Academy of Science is a statewide competition for students who have completed research projects. The competition includes both a paper and an oral presentation and provides an opportunity for students to receive personal feedback from research scientists in their field. The United States Biology, Chemistry, and Physics Olympiads are national test-based competitions with thousands of students taking rigorous tests. The top-scoring students compete for a spot on the national team, representing the United States in an international round of the competition. And last but not least, the U.S. Presidential Scholars. Incredibly, we have 2 this year. This program was established in 1964 by executive order of the President to recognize and honor some of our nation's most distinguished graduating high school seniors. Each year, up to 161 students are named as Presidential Scholars, one of the nation's highest honors for high school students. Students, please rise to receive our applause. All right, it is my pleasure to start off the departmental awards. So this is a lot of fun for me. So each year, each department gets together to choose students who exemplify the habits of mind, work ethic, and character that exemplify that department. I want you to know that faculty agonize over these choices. It's impossible. We'd recognize 20, we'd recognize 100 if we could. So just know it's a hard choice and we love you all. When I call your name, come on up on stage right and stand up on the stage, okay? All right, are you ready? Okay. This student took 9 trimesters of biology at NCSSM. Yeah. Every single trimester, this student was enrolled in 1 or 2 biology courses: Dev Bio, AP Bio, EvoTops, MolGen, ClassGen, Immunology, MolCell, even a biology mini-term in epigenetics. In the classroom, this student is a leader in class discussions. With an ever-positive attitude and coffee in hand, this student is an encouraging classmate who makes extra efforts to organize study groups and peer tutoring, monitor course Facebook groups, compile shared class data for labs, and attend tutorials to be able to help other students who couldn't attend. As a biology TA, this student never missed a chance to volunteer to do extra work or organize the lab, not just for her assigned instructor, but for any other faculty who needed help. The biology faculty greatly appreciate her organizational skills and the ideas she contributed to help develop new labs. Her enthusiasm for all things biology spread outside the classroom, where she involved herself in special events, Lean In Women in Science, and a panel on gene-edited babies. If there was something biology going on, she was there, actively participating, helping, organize. As the news broke about the controversial birth of CRISPR gene-edited babies and the world was reeling with the ethical implications, she jumped in to take the lead in organizing and moderating the student discussion on gene-edited babies. Her drive and organizational skills allowed our community to engage in real time with the cutting-edge issues in biology. Please congratulate Jennifer O'Neill. She's going to stand there while I do chemistry. All right. This student is an incredibly passionate chemistry student. This student has taken AP chemistry, environmental chemistry, analytical chemistry, and organic chemistry. This student has always been a joy in the classroom with passion and enthusiasm about chemistry clear for anyone to see. She is also always willing to be of service. As a dedicated teaching assistant, she not only would work with a smile on her face, she would also offer assistance to other faculty, even if her hours had already been completed. She'd say, "Do you need help? I don't have class right now." She chose to spend her free time on the chemistry floor when she wasn't making papier-mâché dragon heads. Numerous students have praised her for her kindness and excellence in working with them to help understand difficult topics in chemistry. Please congratulate Elizabeth Redding. And physics. This student is so excited about physics. This student consistently surpasses challenges faster than the instructors can create them. In more than one course, this student worked so far ahead that teachers had to say, "We don't have homework ready for you yet." When they do inevitably run out, teachers can count on this student to help peers learn the material. This student took 9 physics classes and is always ready to explore a new concept or take on a challenging problem, even if not sure how to begin. She is patient and determined. Her knack for explaining topics means she makes a great TA and a great teacher in the quantum physics seminar. She is a physics researcher. Last summer, she conducted physics research at NC Central, analyzing the effects of radiation on the conductive properties of silicon, and at Duke, she evaluated neutrino signals from mergers of neutron stars and black holes. Her awesome intelligence and mastery of mathematical and computational tools will take her far in her physics studies. Please congratulate Taylor Knapp. Thank you. You can go ahead and sit down. All right. Amazing. All right, I'm going to hand over the podium to Dr. Labulio.
So as Dr. Scheck mentioned, these are always hard choices. So we are recognizing a few out of many that we would like to recognize. I have to admit in advance, the first sentence of the paragraph I'm about to read, I don't fully understand, but I'm going to trust my faculty that it does make sense and hope it makes sense to some of you. So for our first candidate, in the hierarchy of passionate computer science students, this student has shown themselves to be one of the best, a premium cash hierarchy, in fact. They have taken many of our offerings, from introductory programming in web dev to advanced programming topics in data structures and Java. The student even helped bridge the gap between hardware and software in a mini-term on microprocessors and assembly. The breadth of expertise served the student well as a computer science teaching assistant, where they generously shared their knowledge with other students, and in a 2-trimester project where they worked in the mentorship program to study computer memory cache architectures. The student also contributed to the field of computer science by doing research in novel blockchain technology during the summer. This student represented the school as an active member of the Technology Student Association in both years at Science and Math, where they drew attention as Sergeant-at-Arms on the team and led the chapter to a historically successful showing at the 2019 State Conference, including this student's excellent performance in the Webmaster event. Please join me in congratulating congratulating Alex Sini. Our next person we recognize is recognized for the innovative projects designed by this aspiring engineer and entrepreneur, left an indelible mark across our campus, Research Triangle Park, and across the globe. As a frequent visitor to the Fab Lab and Mechatronics Lab, this student not only created and managed projects, but also took on the challenge of learning how to use CAD, and then leading an 11-week Intro to CAD seminar that filled the classroom. As a newly minted CAD expert, the student's excellence in design and 3D printing was evidenced by the completion of a 3D working prototype of a novel water desalination filter that won awards at the North Carolina International Science Challenge and at the Beijing Youth Science Creation Competition that was held in Beijing, China this past March. The student's accomplishments extended beyond the Fab Lab to biomedical engineering projects such as studying the landing mechanics of adolescent basketball players and non-basketball players. However, he may be most remembered for his role in the entrepreneurship class, where he and his group built PizzaBot, a functional prototype of a pizza-making robot that is currently in residence in the Fab Lab. This student is none other than Jeffrey Filak. Our department first met this student in an engineering early accelerator program, where this student's curiosity, ability, and ease of working with others was immediately evident. Like a heat-seeking missile, they kept their eye on NCSSM, participating the following summer in an accelerator program and handily demonstrating great STEM skills in their final project for that course. I think it is fair to say that their high school experience went downhill from there. The Durham campus is 1,700 feet lower than their home high school. You get it? Elevation. Okay. Okay. And it wasn't a glitch that we would see them as a student at NCSSM. This is a student that lit up the classroom with a great attitude and good humor, even when exasperated, especially when exasperated. Challenges seem to bring out the best in the student. Design a near-perfect building? Check. Make a very complicated circuit work? Check. Tackle complex circuit analysis? Check. Be a great lab partner and bring life and joy to the classroom? Check. The student hasn't stayed static in her pursuit of upper-level engineering challenges, where she's noted for a key eye for detail and a stellar, everything is awesome celebration. As a leader on the robotics team, this student is known for taking on tasks with dedication and enthusiasm that is unrivaled by their peers and managing engineering projects as is done in real-world engineering environments. Please join me in congratulating Chloe Haas. I would now introduce Dean Moose, who will handle the Humanities Awards.
In this season of endings and beginnings, I'd like to take just a moment to honor the work and life of our dear friend and colleague, Dave Thaden, who taught American Studies here at NCSSM for nearly a decade. Mr. Thaden died earlier this spring after a long battle with cancer. Many of you who are now graduating had Mr. Thaden as a teacher last year, and I know that you join me in gratitude and in celebration of his life. Let us honor all those teachers, living and dead, whose enduring legacies have inspired us to use our own lives for good. You are now part of that long line of love, the love of ideas, the love of excellence, the love of service. Pass it on. With these departmental awards, we celebrate the remarkable achievements of 3 seniors who are representative of the excellence and commitment that NCSSM students bring to the study of the humanities. And in honoring these 3, we also celebrate the sacred bonds between students and their teachers, past, present, and to come. You may know our first winner by a variety of names. Catherine Schraub and Shop Girl, Judy Turner from El Paso, Texas, Tilly Evans, AKA Tillius the Palladian, and Medea. Whether in Radium Girls, a chorus line, She Kills Monsters, the Dionysus Now mini-term, this winner has been a key player in NCSSM's theater program, making bold, earnest choices in both textual analysis and performance that have inspired many of her classmates to take similar risks. As member of the drama board, she provided transformational leadership that vitalized Promethean Players productions. You may also have seen her on this stage or on the porch of the ETC jamming on alto sax with NCSSM's jazz ensemble. Intellectually fearless, she thrived in our Research in the Humanities program, bringing intellectual curiosity and prowess as well as a passionate commitment to justice, to urgent questions about the environment and about the landscape of women's bodies. You can read her scholarship in Fifth World. In STEM and the Stage, she was a force of nature, creating exciting projects and writing nuanced analyses. Her reflective writing was equal parts poetry, scholarship, and philosophy. She brought the same intellectual passion to American Studies, race, leadership, and ethics, digital humanities, microeconomics, French, women's studies, poetry, writing, drawing, our topics course on immigration, the West mini-term, and a seminar in comparative religious studies. Wonderfully talented, generous, willing to entertain very different ideas from others, unafraid of another's freedom, remarkably willing to test her own. This Humanity Awards winner is Louise Cummings. At breakfast, you can usually find our second award winner up early, sipping coffee and reading the morning's political news, from the local scene to the international stage. His passion for politics is compelling, but his interest in politics has to do with his deeply held commitment to living a life of service. He also seeks to follow paths of what Dante calls excellence and knowledge. In humanities courses ranging from American Studies, WEX 1, 2, and 3, International Relations, AP Microeconomics, Environmental Economics, and Contemporary Challenges Economics, Advanced Spanish and Readings in Spanish, Classical Guitar and Piano, and Jazz Performance Workshop, as well as many terms on the Holocaust and on state politics, a seminar on contemporary politics, and a mentorship with a Duke professor who's researching the narrative of President Donald Trump, this student's work has consistently been brilliant. Deeply compassionate and responsive, he is the student who is always prepared, who reads voraciously and carefully, who thinks deeply, and who makes every discussion richer and more meaningful because of his penetrating and insightful contributions that expand others' understanding and inspire them to up their intellectual game. His shining light is made even brighter by the modesty and easy spirit of cooperation he brings to every setting, not showing or demanding. He listens well and carefully to others and welcomes and respects their contributions. His rhetorical powers in speech and in writing are remarkable. His arguments invariably compelling because of their logic, evidence, clarity, and style. A true humanist, he is dedicated to serving the common good by translating his talents and energies into action that will better the lives of people in our state, nation, and indeed our world. And I look forward to the day when I can cast my vote for him. This Humanity Awards winner is Jack Healy. Our final Humanities Award winner, One Instruction, wrote the following. I met him on the first day of his junior year. He sought me out and enthusiastically expressed his love for the arts and his excitement about enrolling in one of my painting courses. I'll never forget that day because his enthusiasm brightened it, and his eagerness to learn reminded me of why I love teaching so much. In his 2 years at NCSSM, this student enrolled in 5 studio art electives, took a leadership role in last year's mini-term Tagged Illusions mural project, and served as president of a very large and very active NCSSM art club. He also served as a member of Duke University's National Museum of Art Teen Council, in which role he met weekly with a diverse group of Durham High School students to participate in gallery conversations and to collaborate with local artists and museum professionals on large-scale projects. To all his humanities courses, he brought remarkable intellectual and creative passion, receptivity to a variety of viewpoints and experiences, rigorous engagement with difficult thought, and strong scholarship. His personal warmth and generous spirit helped to bind us together with ligaments of love, both for the challenges of learning and for each other. His light shone brightly in American Studies, Rex Humanities, Research in the Humanities 1 and 2, Modern World Fiction, Introductory and Intermediate Chinese, Classical Guitar and Piano, and seminars in Digital Humanities and Comparative Religious Studies. He also organized and led a seminar on the multicultures of Appalachia. His research, published this week in Fifth World, emerged from his intellectual commitments to Appalachia, his home for the first 15 years of his life, and interrogates issues of historical trauma within the region and the misrepresentations of Appalachia and its people. The fruits of his work have found expression not only in scholarly writing and in this spring's research symposium, but also in a quilt he created in Open Studio. And I just happen to have been privileged to serve for these 2 years as his academic advisor. His Humanities Award winner is Jesse Steele. Please welcome back Dean Gibson to present the Departmental Awards for Mathematics.
I have to put in a note not to have me follow Ms. Moose because I just can't say anything as good as she did. So I think we're just going to jump right in. What's clear about our first award winner is just how much they love mathematics, whether it's thinking about a challenging idea or sifting through the details of a messy problem. While normally composed and reserved, you know that they found something interesting or fun because they'll just break out with a big grin. Teachers have commented how by sticking with a tough problem, our award winner would be able to see elegant ways to simplify it down to create a simple solution that the instructors themselves had not seen. In our Advanced Mathematical Topics course, this student worked with Dr. Jonathan Mattingly in the Duke Quantifying Gerrymandering Project, where they were the leader of their research team, pushing them forward with new ideas and algorithms, some of which even worked. Not always a given in mathematics. Within the first month of the project, this student had developed a procedure for creating appropriate county clusters and presented them in a 9-page paper. In the conversations that followed with mathematicians from Duke and other universities on a process for randomly creating legitimate voting districts in North Carolina, this student patiently explained why the mathematicians were wrong and why what they were doing couldn't possibly work. In fact, they had already thought about that new idea and had run some tests on the process and identified weaknesses that the professors had missed. And I've had the opportunity of actually sitting in on one of these conversations, and it takes guts to stand up to the chair of math at Duke, so certainly some courage. In their complex systems course, this student realized that the analytic solution to an SI infectious disease model didn't quite align with the results of their agent-based simulation. For this student, thought is the parent to action. So in their research and mathematics course the following term, they investigated this problem further and wrote a wonderful paper describing the relationship between what we call the solution to the differential equation and the collection of possible realizations of the process. All of it conceived and accomplished through this student's unique perspective, coupled with the extraordinary mathematical engine that is his brain. Please join me in congratulating our first department award winner, Daniel Carter. While none of our award winners have had the unique displeasure of having me as their teacher in class, this student did start their NCSSM experience a bit early, arriving on 3rd Watts during summer 2017 to take a summer accelerator course with me in cryptography. A quick study, it was no time before the student was working in teams to solve very complex cryptography problems, cracking the ciphers by hand and writing some very efficient computer code in Python. Perhaps it was their love of mathematics that motivated this student to complete over 10 trimesters of math courses here, which, by the way, is more than I've taught in the past 2 or 3 years, so that's pretty good. And compete in a slew of the mathematical competitions that you've seen go by on the slides earlier this afternoon. Perhaps it was the student's love of helping others that inspired them to become a standout leader among our group of math TAs this year, hosting extra tutorial times in the evenings and on weekends to make sure everybody had the opportunity to obtain help if needed. This TA would routinely attend the department final exam review sessions to provide additional opportunities for students to have help, and they proctored our math placement tests on welcome days and provided so many other services to the math department that I just wouldn't have time to read the complete list here this afternoon. Continuing in that theme of service to the school, future generations of unicorns will be better off thanks to this student's contribution to their team's work during this most recent mini-term, where they created an algorithm for scheduling final exams in a manner that would minimize conflicts between different subject areas. So juniors look forward to that next year. It's clear that their love of math is perhaps only matched by their heart for service, and I'll remember this student most for their positive can-do attitude and willingness to help out classmates and faculty at NCSSM. Please join me in congratulating our second Department Award winner, Kathleen Hiblitzel. All right, our last one. In the words of this student's teacher, they exude mathematical curiosity. When this student worked on larger projects that were somewhat open-ended, they would rarely ask for guidance or direction, instead accepting the challenge to dig into the problems on their own. However, this student would then go further by developing and exploring questions that weren't asked simply out of curiosity and the thirst for rigor. This student had already completed numerous advanced courses in mathematics before arriving at NCSSM, but instead of using that as a reason to relax and take it easy here, this student instead used their experience to offer 4 student-led seminars in topics such as number theory, geometry, algebraic structures, and linear algebra. As a math TA, this student would go above and beyond their given role to provide other students with support as they worked on their mathematics ideas outside of class. They would often offer additional tutorial sessions, including small group AP preparation for calculus students, and was always happy to meet with students individually if they asked for help, even if that meant putting aside some of their own work. You may think someone with such talent would be boastful, but not this student. Instead, they are the picture of authentic humility. They celebrate their achievements quietly and personally, and lift and support others up, focusing their attention on others. Please join me in congratulating our final Mathematics Department Award winner, Han Lim. All right, I'd like to welcome back to the podium Chancellor Roberts to present the Teaching Awards, the Chancellor's Award, and the Golden Cupola Awards.
So it's my pleasure this afternoon to be able to recognize a number of our faculty for teaching awards that range from service to students, to classroom innovation, to outreach, to scholarship, to 2 outstanding teacher awards, and then ultimately the Board of Governors Excellence in Teaching Award. So when I call your name, the faculty member, if you will please come to the stage. Our first recipient is not going to be able to come to the stage because he is recovering at home, but the award for exceptional contribution and service to students is to Mr. Adam Sampieri. I think everyone here has benefited from Mr. Sampieri, whether you've been in a class of his, or you've been in a production, or you've had the great pleasure of being in the audience in a production. But beyond his amazing work as a teacher in the classroom and here on the stage, he does amazing work campus-wide. He's been involved in helping lead a number of important committees ranging from campus climate, culture, and diversity, and mental health and wellness, and so he is just a tremendous member of our community. He's doing well, and we look forward to him being back at NCSSM, but thanks again and congratulations to Mr. Sampieri. the next award is for exceptional contribution in classroom innovation, and this recipient is Dr. Michael Bruno. So Dr. Bruno does amazing work in the classroom as well, and he's really an innovator in his instructional style and is recognized nationally for his work as a POGIL, a person who implements POGIL in the classroom. And some comments from his students that really, I think, that characterize Dr. Bruno are that he is willingly ready to meet with me outside the classroom to make sure I understand the subject matter. And I could tell that he genuinely cared about my success in the class. This is not something that many teachers would do, so I'm extremely grateful to Dr. Bruno. He's very patient with his students and actually wants to see us succeed and grow. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself and my learning technique, more in his classroom than any other before. And from his colleagues, a colleague mentioned that being a faculty member at NCSSM means more than just teaching in the classroom to Michael. He's become a part of this entire school. And having Michael as a colleague has made my experience teaching at NCSSM incomparable to any other environment I've ever been in. So congratulations to Dr. Bruno. Hey, Dr. Bruno. Hey, Dr. Bruno. Yeah, we want to get a photo with all of you up here. Our next award winner is for exceptional contribution in outreach. This award goes to Coach Thomas Michelle. I might need to see you in the training room a little bit later. I'm not sure. As you all know, many of you in the room, including us adults, have been put back together by Coach Michelle at one point or another. But what he's done for our school and our students goes beyond just the training room. He's developed and teaches or co-teaches a number of innovative interdisciplinary courses here at NCSSM. And what he does for students goes well beyond all of the training. He is the most amazing academic advisor that we have. He always takes 14 students, always an even number, and does an amazing job in advising those students. Some of the comments from colleagues are that his knowledge and communication and follow-through are impeccable with every student that he helps. Whether the student is a varsity athlete, intramural athlete, or one who just got hurt around campus, he treats them with the same respect. His breadth and knowledge of the profession is beyond compare. So congratulations, Coach Michelle. Our next recipient is for exceptional contribution to scholarship, and our recipient is Dr. Tamara Evaneri. So those of you that have had Dr. Evaneri know, and she's taught just about every class that we have, either in the residential environment or interactive video conference or online. She the thing that she really strives to do is to motivate students in the classroom and provide them the support they need to be successful in any of the classes that she teaches. And so some of the comments from students are, Dr. Everneri's encouragement of students to ask questions and volunteer their answers is amazing. And she also does a stellar job of helping students in and outside of the classroom. From colleagues, her expertise in the field has greatly benefited our department, and through her willingness to engage in this scholarship, she has benefited countless teachers around the world. She consistently demonstrates respect and support for colleagues, exhibits quiet and deliberate leadership skills, presents strong scholarship and disciplinary expertise, and maintains a passion for teaching. Beyond what she does here at NCSSM for students, Tamara is also a real leader in mathematics at the university level, and she's been working on a system-wide committee to try to improve freshmen and the transition from high school to freshman mathematics in college. And so she's done a lot for not only here at NCSSM, but far beyond these walls. So congratulations, Dr. Everneri. Our next award is for one of our Outstanding Teacher Awards. Our first recipient is Taylor Gibson. As you know, Mr. Gibson is the dean of the math department, but also an excellent teacher in the classroom, and goes far beyond in his support of students, far beyond just the classroom. His support, whether it's on with the cross-country team or at events, he's at so many different events in the evenings and on weekends. His support for students is tremendous. He's also done an amazing job of helping to innovate within the mathematics department, whether that's implementing standards-based grading or bringing in the cryptography class, which is an interdisciplinary class. But the thing that I think you hear from students most are things like this. Almost any student you speak to could tell you how much he cares and how his passion made people love his class regardless of their interest in math. I was originally very science-focused, but his relatability and passion for math opened my mind and blossomed my intellectual curiosity. He was the adult I trusted most on campus and always knew I could count on for academic or other help. He believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and I can honestly say I wouldn't have the scholarship I do at the school I now attend if it wasn't for his encouragement. Congratulations, Mr. Gibson. And our second recipient of Outstanding Teacher Award is Ms. Elizabeth Peoples. So many of you have had Ms. Peoples, and she's taught a variety of interesting courses and so many different seminars that she has taught, and the many terms that she does are always fantastic. One of the things that she strives to do is to be really a student-centered educator, and so the work that she does in her class really is focusing on students, but she always goes the extra mile to meet students where they are when they need her support, no matter how busy she is. She has an open door and will always open that door for students. And so some of the comments from students about Ms. Peoples: the quality of education in this course is higher than words can express. I've learned more in this course than I have in any other class I've ever taken. I've taken to heart her myriad of engaging lessons, stories and advice, and examples of wisdom. I know that she will have an impact on me as I continue my education and professional career. Aside from her teaching skills, Ms. Peoples' greatest characteristic is her ability to go beyond what is covered in the classroom and aid with countless student projects and clubs. Congratulations, Ms. Peoples. And so our final teaching award is for the Board of Governors Excellence in Teaching. And our recipient this year of this award is Mr. Scott Laird. So many of you who've been in the orchestra or involved in any of the ensembles or music productions know Mr. Laird and his talent and the great leadership he has brought to NCSSM and our fine arts program as the head of our fine arts department and an instructor in orchestra. But one of the things that most of us probably don't know as much is that Scott is not only an outstanding contributor here at NCSSM in our fine arts department and in the music department, but he is nationally recognized for his work. He is often a guest conductor across the United States. He has, on our YouTube channel, he has some of the most popular videos on our YouTube channel. If you haven't been there and you want to learn to play the guitar, he can teach you via YouTube. But his acclaim nationally brings a lot to NCSSM, and so he goes well beyond what it takes to have a great fine arts department and program in the classroom and on this stage for productions, but goes well beyond that to help support students, whether they come in just learning to play an instrument for the first time or very accomplished musicians. And so we want to congratulate Scott for his outstanding leadership of our program here at NCSSM and the state and the nation. So congratulations, Mr. Laird. Let's give another hand for all of our teaching award winners. Each year, we also give 2 awards, one to our staff, or two awards to our staff, both EHRA staff and SHRA staff. And so this year, we gave 2 awards for outstanding contribution to supporting the community. And our first award winner was Mr. Nelson Butts, who retired in January. But any of you that may have ever had a problem with your technology, your computer or whatever, probably knew Mr. Butts. And the greatest thing about him was that he was here at NCSSM since 1993 and really saw the changes in technology and the proliferation of technology. And the thing that he always did, the greatest thing about Nelson was that no matter what, when your technology goes wrong, you get panicked. And sometimes you are needing something just like that. He would show up with a smile on his face and get it fixed and take care of it with the best customer service ever. So this year, Mr. Butts was recognized with one of the Chancellor's Awards for Excellence. So congratulations, Mr. Butts. He's not here today, but congratulations. Our other recipient of the Chancellor's Award for Excellence is Mr. Rob Caldwell. So those of you that know Rob, he's a digital media specialist here since 2006 and has really helped to grow beyond the work that he's done to support our interactive video conference program. But he has done a lot to stand up our Canvas. We have him to thank for Canvas and getting us all prepared to use and train on Canvas. And he's also does a lot to support the development of curriculum for all teachers here on campus as they learn how to use technology and integrate technology effectively into their classroom environment. So congratulations, Rob. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the Golden Cupola Awards. And the Golden Cupola is the award that's given to students who've made outstanding impact to the NCSSM community, particularly in citizenship, contribution to the community, and leadership. We have a number of award winners this year, 9 in total. So that says a lot for the class of 2019. So our first recipient, and I will read the information that came from the nominator. The Golden Cupola Award winners could be nominated by classmates, by teachers, by staff, by parents, could be a variety of different folks that nominate these folks. So I'm going to read what the nominator had to say, and then we'll announce the name of the recipient. So our first recipient. Let me begin by saying that in my 22 years of teaching, this student is one of my favorite students. One of the favorite students that I've had the pleasure and privilege of teaching. He's naturally, intellectually curious, unquestionably kind, immensely empathetic, and self-aware, and exceptionally athletic. As a student in my American Studies class, his intellectual curiosity and natural affinity for complex ideas made him an ideal student. This curiosity extends into other courses as well. He applied for and earned a coveted position in our school's competitive research and biology program, where his research focused on the study of biofilms and their antibiotic resistance. The fact he chose to do his research on an area of biology that can make people's lives better speaks to his approach to the world. He walks through the world trying to make it better. This student continues his empathetic leadership and community building as a liaison with the Student Government and Administrative Mental Health Committee, as a resident life assistant, and as the president of NSBE. This student's swimming prowess has also led him to place high at the state level and to be selected as the North Carolina team captain at the Interstate Zone meet in Midland, Texas. When we talked about his experience as a captain, rather than talk about how fast he swam or whether he won any of his races, he spoke about how he worked on building a cohesive team out of a diverse group who, coming into the meet, didn't know one another. Because of his abilities to connect people and by finding common ground, motivate people by encouraging them to encourage each other, and creating a cohesive team, he led his team to earning the Sportsmanship Award, something our state had never won before. This student also participated in a voter photography project, Amplify, Youth Voices in the Future. The project features photographic images of current students and recent graduates of NCSSM who will be voting for the first time in the election this fall or in 2020, and includes portraits and excerpts from conversations with students about their visions for the future and the importance of voting. This student walks through the world trying to make it better, to make people happier, and to engage meaningfully with everything. This student is Emil Charles. Our next recipient for the Golden Cupola, the nominator wrote, "This student is a passionate environmental advocate and strong believer that any change, no matter how small, is a good change. By helping to chair NCSSM's newfound TerraCycling initiative, writing the sustainability newsletter that is published each month, and playing a monumental role in organizing the Sustainability Block Party, this student has carried an incredibly large portion of the weight of the SPL program on her shoulders. She spends upwards of 5 hours every month writing and perfecting the sustainability newsletter to ensure that the newsletter is truly serving its purpose of informing the NCSSM community. As for NCSSM's TerraCycling initiative, every Sunday, this student spends 1 to 2 hours of her time sorting through the TerraCycling bins and fishing out materials that don't belong in order to preserve the eco-friendliness of the program. She has served as an incredible TerraCycling advocate, making announcements at hall meetings and sending out texts in the hall group chat to remind all of her hallmates what materials can and cannot be placed in the bins. Even before the bins were ready and available in the hall, she still volunteered to hang on to the garbage on her hallmates until she could find the appropriate disposal site. But for all of her ingenuity and hard work, this student is never one to take all of the credit, and commends the student body for all of their efforts at making NCSSM a more sustainable campus. She has helped to organize the Sustainability Block Party and is currently working on facilitating a river cleanup at Eno River to provide students the opportunity to become more directly involved in sustainability initiatives outside the campus. What sets this student apart is not just the big things, but the little things that she does as well. From walking for hours on end with orange peels in her pocket just so she can compost them, to walking down the hall multiple times a day to turn off a light that has been left on, to sorting through the discarded lunches from the track meets to recycle and compost all that she can. She is the embodiment of a Golden Cupola student. This student is a 100%er. She gives absolutely everything that she has to absolutely everything she does. This student is Ramonde Council. next award winner. You can usually find this person up early in the morning, and in the late afternoons in winter, you'll find him churning up the water with the school swims team. Giving a quiet word of encouragement to a teammate who may be tired or struggling, and at meets, exhorting his fellow swimmers to give their all. At night, you'll find him finishing as soon as possible his AP Physics lab reports and advanced mathematical modeling assignments to sneak in precious minutes before sleep to read. He's as keen for history, politics, literature, and philosophy. Not surprising, given his dreams to lead and serve our state and nation. Earlier this spring, you would have found him on stage at the NCSSM STEM Hall of Fame Gala, talking with gratitude to a group of distinguished guests about the transformative power of NCSSM education. Last spring, in the wake of the Parkland shooting, you would have found him at the March for Our Lives rally in our state capitol, raising his voice in powerful, compelling speech that argued for the necessity of gun control and safe schools. Last summer, you would have found him back in Raleigh at the governor's office working in a month-long internship with the governor's senior educational advisor. An internship that he himself proposed, won approval for, and helped establish on a recurring basis so that more NCSSM students will gain hands-on experience in public service. Just a few weeks ago, you would have found him in the lecture hall working with teammates to make a compelling, real-world pitch to corporate executives of Durham-based LCI Tech on ways the company, which employs blind and visually impaired people, can add 200 new employees to its workforce. Eager and committed to step up to lead, as well as put his shoulder to the wheel for the betterment of our state and nation, indeed our world, this student is an ideal candidate for the Golden Cupola Award. This student is Jack Healy. Oops. All right. Our next recipient is a very involved leader on the NCSSM campus. She serves as an RLA and acts as a voice for the student body on numerous student government committees and as a senior senator. She has very positive relationships with all of her hallmates and community coordinator. Many hall residents comment about the energy and lighthearted tone she brings to the hall. She has led off-the-wall hall activities like the one in which she had each resident write down a random fact, put it in a hat, and draw them one at a time for everyone to guess who each unknown fact applied to, which highlights her creativity and willingness to try new things to connect with others. She also simply enjoys community development by singing and laughing with residents as they sign, check, and do their housekeeping. She naturally lifts up the people with whom she interacts, persistent on spreading joy and light to the mood. This student is a very involved member of the NCSSM student government. She's passionate about voicing the concerns for the student body. She calls the student body to action by advertising and hosting SG town halls and works with the Graduate Visioning Committee to bring a student perspective to administrative plans. She created the Cafeteria Hangout series to allow students and faculty members to interact organically outside of the classroom and in tutorial settings, in an effort to encourage the two parties to be more willing to help each other in those academic settings. She's also concerned with the future of our community. Her concern evidences itself in the diligent work that she provided on the Graduate Visioning Committee, the NCSSM Morganton Planning Committee. She has attended multiple day-long meetings to contribute to these committees. Her contributions to the campus have been unique and lasting, and they will remain with NCSSM for years to come. Over the past 2 years, this student has proven that her diligent work ethic paired with her unique personality make her an effective leader. This student is Rebecca Glover. So our next recipient is a student who not only exhibits positive citizenship within herself, but she is an advocate and has served as a voice for others who may feel marginalized or isolated. She's a friend to many and a voice for change. Specifically, as a Cultural Connections PCC, she has served as a leader on her hall and in the charge for diversity, inclusion, and equity. Here she has made presentations to halls as well as to the full NCSSM community. Her leadership is demonstrated through her overseeing of the Cultural Council for NCSSM, where she oversees all of the cultural groups. Within this, all of the groups have an opportunity each month to highlight their culture and to collaborate with another cultural group to enhance unity on our campus. Moreover, she is a leader within the PCC program and is often helping with college visits and other responsibilities as needed or requested. She's also part of 3CDC as well as student government. This student serves as secretary of NIA. She recently led the Women of Color in STEM panel and was an awesome mistress of ceremonies, leading the audience to a fruitful and enlightening discussion with the panelists. Additionally, she also led the first annual Unity Dinner in her junior year, where Counseling and Student Life co-sponsored this event, modeling collaboration for students. As the Cultural Connections program is in its infancy, many of the ideas that this student has shared have been implemented to make the program more fruitful. Additionally, she has single-handedly stood up when there was wrong or when someone felt bullied or unwelcomed on hall, as well as in social media. She does not fall to the role of bystander, as she is not afraid to stand up for others and to others. This student sets a prime example for the type of citizen we should all strive to be, as she makes this community a much better place through her exceptional contributions. This student is Deja Holiday. Our next student was an outstanding student in this teacher's class who nominated him for this recognition. He came into class cheerfully every day and made insightful comments during small group and whole class discussions. He also asked good clarifying questions and helped his podmates solve problems when they were having difficulties. Students in the class viewed him as an intellectual leader and a person they could collaborate with and trust to get jobs done. He made our class culture fun, inquisitive, energetic, and optimistic. This past winter and spring, I also had the pleasure to serve with this student on Action Team 7 in our strategic planning process. He took his role in our team very seriously. He regularly attended meetings and conducted thorough and high-quality research. He candidly and eloquently shared his thoughts and took the lead on writing up one of our action plans. By all measures, this student was an excellent member of our team. His contributions were highly valuable, and we were all impressed with his strong work ethic and maturity. This student dedicates himself tirelessly to our community and rises up to leadership roles both formally and informally. He loves NCSSM and wants to make it the best place possible for everyone. This student is Dustin Humphreys. Our next recipient is a student who's been an amazing student ambassador this year. Always on time, volunteers for programs outside his normal working hours, and is always quick to step up in a leadership role among a strong group of leaders. He volunteered to go to an information fair at a middle school in his home area and engage both students and parents as if he were a professional admissions representative. This student receives great praise and feedback from those who he gives tours on campus to, and is a great addition to open house panels. In my almost 19 years here at NCSSM, he would be in the top 10% of all the ambassadors I've ever worked with. This student is more than just a great ambassador. He's a member and captain of the cross-country team, which finished third in the 2A state championships, runs indoor track, as well and is a leader on the team. He helps practice and workouts and is one of the top runners on a very strong team. His coach states, "He's the best captain I've ever had in 45 years of coaching. He is eager, humble, and hardworking." This student is also passionate about fundraising for the National Junior Diabetes Foundation, where he's raised over $1,000 a year for the past 4 years and was given the VIP award. This student is Nicholas Morkey. Our next recipient, a hunger to learn and grow, openness and receptivity to a variety of viewpoints and experiences, love of challenge and discovery, steadfast commitment to serving others, remarkable resilience, stamina, and optimism in the face of considerable economic, social, and personal challenges, joy in being alive in a community with others. These are only some of this student's virtues. This student's positive impact extends well beyond the classroom to the larger NCSSM community and his own home community. His extracurricular activities are extensive and varied and include teaching kids how to read at his local library, building bridges of understanding by establishing a gay-straight alliance at his former high school, leading his track team to state-level competition and through the food arc, tending our campus garden and educating students and the wider community about food insecurity. He also engineered indoor and outdoor hydroponic systems that reduce the water needed to grow vegetables. As a student ambassador, this student has led many visitors on tours of our campus and has represented our institution with intelligence, warmth, and charm. As the Native American Cultures Club co-president, he collaborates with NCSSM's admissions office to recruit Cherokee students who live in Western North Carolina. As a Campus Culture, Climate, and Diversity Committee member, he works with faculty, staff, and students to educate our community on issues of diversity and inclusion. As a teen council member of Duke's Nasher Museum of Art, the first NCSSM student to hold this prestigious position, he collaborates on large-scale projects with 14 other young artists to use art as a vehicle to advocate for environmental awareness. As president of the Art Club, he has led a very active cohort of artists and art enthusiasts in weekly organized activities, including weekend pop-up art making sessions, drawing hikes, museum field trips, figure modeling sessions, and holiday art exhibits. As an NCSSM mentorship student, he has also worked to research ways of preventing species extinctions. Simultaneously, he conducted research on Appalachia and the Humanities research program. This student is a person of tremendous academic and personal accomplishment and promise who actively seeks new challenges and makes the most of opportunities. This student is Jesse Steele. Okay, and this is our last recipient that I'm about to announce for the Golden Cupola Award. Have you ever known someone who goes out of their way to help others? Well, this student is one such individual. His vitality, friendliness, compassion, energy, strong sense of self, giving nature, and natural and genuine love of life and learning are a joy to witness. He shares a smile to all and is often seen helping or assisting peers on campus. This student ran on the platform of diversity and inclusion and serves as a student body president for the class of 2018-19. His involvement in student government is very important to him. In fact, he has been involved in SG since the 6th grade, and it has really had an effect on his leadership, personal and communication skills. He has stayed firm on all the projects he promised to embark on while always finding a way to further to go further than his initial promises. Additionally, he served on the Strategic Planning Committee, Strategy 6, which is we will ensure that diversity, equity, and inclusion characterize our campus culture and climate. He served as a vital member, sharing the student voice, working diligently on subcommittees, researching and sharing ideas, experiences, and insights. He has participated in many clubs which share diverse cultural experiences such as Legacy, also Hope, and as a member of NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. In his junior year, he was able to design his own engineering project focusing on the damage, vulnerability of an RC car body that presented at the National Convention. He was chosen for the mentorship program in his senior year, where he is researching 2 days a week at a nearby university in dentistry. He was the only high school student to present with undergraduate and graduate student researchers at the annual UNC Dental Research and Review Day. This student is a model of citizenship, contribution to the community, and leadership. This student is Rakim Yakubu. Give one more round of applause for all of our Golden Cultural Award winners. Thank you. So that concludes our program here today. But again, as has been said by many of the presenters, it's really nice to be able to recognize all of the students that we've been able to recognize today for their outstanding achievements. But we all know that any individual achievements are, while attributable to those individuals, it takes a community around them to give them the support necessary to be that successful. So thank you all for your support for these individuals and for each other and all of the success that you've had this year. And I'd like to one more time say a big, big congratulations to the class of 2019. You now have 44 hours before your alumni. So. Don't forget dinner at 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6:30, and then we'll hope to see all of you back here for Air Band at 7 p.m. Thank you.